More with Natalie Cheale and Rick Munn on today's News Talk Radio, TNT.
Welcome back to the show. We've got Ben from Chasing Dissent here. We had his co-host on earlier in the week, so we couldn't leave him out. He's a broadcaster. He says he likes to talk a lot, and he's autistic and opinionated. You sound just like me, Ben. How are you today?
I'm very well, and you know me from the last few years anyway, and you've been on our show, and
Yep.
you know that's accurate, I think.
The last time I was on your show, it was like people saying, wow, two autistic people just shouting at each other with their opinions. So that's what you've got to look forward to for the next 10 minutes. We're here to discuss Keir Starmer and Wes Streeting. They've been talking about their new policies that they want put in place for children. And they've been accused of wanting a nanny state. The one that we've already discussed before on the show, Rick, was the toothbrush one. So they want supervised toothbrushing for 3 to 5 year olds. What do you reckon, Ben? With all the problems going on in the UK at the moment, is that something we should all really be pushing and concerned about? Toothbrushing for children?
Well, no, because hopefully we as parents are able to teach our children to do that for themselves, first of all. And also, it's kind of an indictment of parents, isn't it? It's saying to parents, no, you don't have the ability to do that. We will do it for you. We are your daddy government. We are here, and we will give you a helping hand. It's those words, isn't it? We're from the government, and we're here to help.
Yes, absolutely. It's like we should be encouraging parental responsibility, right? We should be encouraging people to be good parents because they want to be. But it's like they're almost saying you need the government to come and help you. You need us to make decisions for you. You're not capable of being a good parent yourself.
Well, it's not only that. I find the whole thing ironic in so much as it's Tories accusing Labour of wanting a nanny state when all they've done together over the past 3 to 5 years is create the biggest nanny state we've ever had. It's the pot calling the kettle, as they say.
Yeah, and Keir Starmer said, healthy, happy children is not nice. It's a basic right with economic urgency. Well, it's funny because he was pushing the lockdowns even further than the Tories, wasn't he? He didn't seem to care at the time about children then. But suddenly, brushing their teeth will solve all their problems. Don't worry about taking their schooling away from them for years.
No, of course not, because we know it's not about brushing their teeth, don't we? We know it's about getting them it's getting the next generation used to more oversight, used to more control, used to something that I think, unless something is done, we're gonna be the last generation that saw any semblance of freedom. I'm not sure what we had was freedom, but it's just going further and further along the line, especially the last 3 to 5 years have really shown governments the world over how far they can push people. And it is quite frightening. And it is also frightening when we try and have these conversations, especially on mainstream platforms, and we are just censored for even having these ideas, for having these opinions. And I don't think that they're very controversial.
No, I would absolutely agree with you. Rick, do you think it's going to change the country? Toothbrushing, I think they said they're taking away ads for vaping and introducing a 9 p.m. watershed. Do you think that's going to solve all the children's problems?
Well, it's not, and Ben, we have been following what's been going on, a little diversion here in Wales, and I think if you talk about patronisation and you talk about the nanny state, I think Mark Drakeford was doing his level best to introduce the most patronising, most nannied place to live on planet Earth. The introduction of that 20 miles per hour speed limit, even though 500,000 people protested against it. He said, listen, the world is getting flooded. People are blood boiling with climate change. 20 miles per hour is not a big ask for you people to do. There's more important things to worry about. And famously, when you go for a meal deal in Sainsbury's, he wanted to separate the crisps, the fizzy drinks and the sandwiches so that if you went went to get a meal deal, you couldn't just lift them all together. You had to go from aisle to aisle to try and keep you alive a little bit longer, because of course that's going to preserve your health.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but that's going to preserve your health. But what's also going to preserve your health is when Mark Drakeford closes off the toy aisles, closes off the clothing aisles, closes off a load of aisles and says, you can't go down that aisle because that's going to preserve your health. Yeah. Oh, man, this man, like you say, he's a patronizing idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he's gone. He's gone now, but his replacement doesn't look like everyone. Listen, I haven't seen anybody that's been replaced by anybody better. And this year coming up in the 2024 in the UK, it's going to be a big year for elections, of course. And we're talking about Keir Starmer, who looks like to be the de facto shoe-in as the next prime minister. Actually elected, that is, at least in inverted commas, because Sunak isn't elected, Truss wasn't elected. So I think we're going to be bracing ourselves for Starmer to come in. Can we expect to see Drakeford-esque levels of patronisation in 2024 if Starmer gets the keys to number 10?
Oh yeah, son of a toolmaker, Keith. He's gonna patronise us all the way to the hilt. But then you have to ask the question: is anything really going to change? Certainly not for the better. But we've been calling them on our show the Uniparty for God knows how long. We call them red Tories and blue Labour. We call them the Purple Party because they just seem to back each other up completely on fundamental issues which erode our freedoms, erode our rights, just little by little. I call it, use the phrase, death by 1,000 cuts, and that's what's been going on here. Nothing's going to get better. You vote for one party, you vote for the other party, whatever underlying agenda there is, it rolls on regardless, and we all end up worse off for it.
Yeah, and we're all laughing about the toothbrush policy, but the thing is, it starts with toothbrushes, doesn't it, Ben? But where can it go from then? If they put and they roll that out, what's the next thing going to be?
Flossing.
It's just 3 weeks. It's just 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just your teeth. It's just your teeth. What next? Blowing your nose, cleaning out your ears, washing your neck every morning. Where will this end?
It's just a curfew. It's just an ankle bracelet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, if you start with toothbrushing, for me, there's a possibility. They've been trying to push the jabs. Is it then that they will be in school and then they have to push this type of medication as well? Of course. It's that. That to me is the worry. If so many parents allow it and don't stand up, because you could just say, "No, I don't want my child to toothbrush." They've had
they can do it at home. Damn it!
Exactly. And now if enough people did that, that's the way to go, isn't it?
I mean, my wife actually has an alarm on her phone that goes off for the evening, 7:30 every night. It goes off for the children to go and brush their teeth before bed. And it's just little things like that parents can do. We don't need Keith, son of a toolmaker, telling us how to get our kids to brush their damn teeth. We really don't.
Yeah, and this is...
It would be interesting if we could actually get a hold of Keir Starmer's dental records from somewhere, maybe his dentist listening in here, just to find out, does he have any fillings? Does he have any cavities being filled in recently? Because, of course, we would expect with Keir dispensing dental hygiene information to the British public at the minute, you would expect him to have an immaculate set of gnashers in that thick skull of his, wouldn't you?
I mean, I'm not one to talk... I've destroyed my dental hygiene with fizzy drinks over the years, and now I can't get an NHS dentist. Maybe we should actually focus on the millions of people currently not able to get a dentist, rather than forcing kids to brush their teeth with teacher supervision. Even the teachers' unions, for once, have stepped in and said, this is dumb. This is stupid. And it's not our place as teachers to supervise kids brushing their teeth. It's our place as teachers to indoctrinate them. I mean, teach them.
I know you've done the maths for this before. They're also saying they're going to have an extra 700,000 dentist appointments in the UK. But if you actually work out how many appointments that is compared to how many million people there are, that doesn't really go very far, does it?
And they're saying they're all going to go to kids. So all of the adults that need urgent dentistry are still not going to get it, of course, but I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that at all. What I am opposed to is nanny state going, do this, do that, do that. I'm a very small government type of person. I think they should back off out of our lives. I thought that the primary aim of government was to protect the people, and that certainly doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
As they just start a war, another war today as well.
It's for your safety.
For our protection, for our safety. As long as those kids get their teeth brushed, we're all going to be safe. That's the way we need to go, move forward. That is the UK today. But thank you, Ben. It's been a blast as always. We'll have you back on the show soon, I'm sure. If you'll come, Ben. But yeah,
I like to talk.
Always. We've got now to say goodbye to Ben, and we're going to discuss a few more news stories if we've got the time here before we go. And remember, you can call in as well to tell us your thoughts. So, Rick, what do you want to start with now?